Good evening. I do have, we had a restaurant for 3 years. It was called Elaine's Healthy Restaurant in New Haven, Connecticut. So I do have restaurant experience. I just, while we were talking there, I did remember to put it in the bio, but we'll update the bio. So we did have a restaurant for 3 years. So that's one thing I would like to tell you. But let us pray so we can get started because time is not our friend. Heavenly Father, we ask that you may hide your servant behind your wonderful health message that you have given unto us, a message that is somewhat discarded. Bring it, Lord, back to the forefront and lead those who are honest in heart to your true message, we pray, in Jesus' name. Amen. So what I want to do, I want to start with the 8 laws of health. God has given us 8 doctors. I call them 8 doctors. Nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, fresh air, rest, and trust in God. If you follow most sickness, all sickness is caused by disregarding of the 8 doctors. Every sickness there is, you have disregarded one of those 8 doctors. What I want to do is to just go over them briefly. The first one we're going to do, I may not go in the same order you have it there. Pure air, sunlight, abstinence, rest, exercise, proper diet, the use of water, trust in divine powers. These are the true remedies. It's found in the Ministry of Health, page 127. Everybody know the New Start? The acronym for New Start? We know that already, right? So we don't have to go that through that. The first one I want to look at is nutrition. Nutrition is number 1. When I'm doing a consultation, I put nutrition at the last. Do you know why? It's the biggest. Most important. But most people says, Lord, I will do this, I will do this, I will do this, I will do this, but I'll not do that. And yet we're going to expect healing, right? No. The 8 doctors, every single one of them, every single one of those doctors, God gave them to us for the healing. The goal in nutrition is to avoid all refined foods, select a healthy variety of natural, organic, or wild-crafted. Okay, what's the difference? Anybody know what wild-craft mean? Yes, you're shaking your head. You know what wild-craft is? Can you tell us?
Walk outside and
Wild-crafted.
is that like when you just go outside and you just eat like a
No, you don't touch it. Wildcraft grows by themselves.
Oh, so you don't walk out to the woods and
Yes. Like how you would harvest. So wildcraft is better than organic. Wildcrafted food, herbs, is better than organic. But you hardly find them in the wild. You have to go in the wild and you have to find. They're planted by nature, planted by God, nourished by God. Wild berries. The berries are actually planted by birds, but God planted them. God did. And then we have organic. I'm not doing a presentation on organic. I'm doing a presentation on the 8 laws of health. But talking about organic is a whole presentation. Why you eat organic, why you eat wild-crafted. There's a reason. We're to present our body. Our body is what? The living temple of. When Christ came here, did Christ give us everything to save us? He gave us the best, right? So we are to give him back the what? What does 2 Corinthians chapter 2, 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 10, what does it say? We all have to give an account what we have done in his body. This belongs to God. So if it belongs to God, we eat the best. That's why we choose organic, the best. For adequate intake of balance, amino acid, vitamins, mineral, trace elements. Do your best to eat as naturally as possible. Because something doesn't have to be organic because of the way it's grown. But, oh, let me stop and give you one thing. If you go to the grocery store and you buy an apple, okay, and you didn't check what's in the apple is sprayed, right? And you start eating the apple. What happened in the digestion process? If it is GMO or chemical, what happened in the digestion? Nobody knows. It's what? It stopped the digestion, then do what first? It has to remove what? What is the stomach? It remove the toxin first, then it's go back and start the digestion again. Your stomach is 98.6 degrees hot inside. So if you stop your digestion, what happened to the digestion? It ferments. So when you eat food, you want nothing to stop from your mouth to your rectum. You want nothing to hinder your digestion. Nothing. How long does the food take to digest? You said 4 hours? You said 4? 4? 24? You said 3? Very close. Huh? All right, let me ask the question again. How long, when you eat food, does it pass through your entire GI tract and you pass it out?
It's less than a day. I guess it depends on the person. It's less than a day.
That's right. It depends on your system. Actually, it takes 5 to 6 hours. That's if your system is functioning properly. You want to test your system if it's functioning?
Take cayenne pepper.
No, that's too hard. All right, what you do? This is what you do.
It'll tell you when it's out.
This is the easiest thing. You want to write this down. If you want to test your digestion, drink beetroot juice. Okay, now, if when you pass it out in the toilet, it is in the toilet is red, it means that you're not digesting. If your fecal is red, that means you have good digestion. Give it to me again. Or repeat what I just said.
If your fecal, if what you're passing is red, it's not.
No, if the water is red, like, no, you're not bleeding. No, your test. I had a pastor's wife I was working with, and we're doing a cleansing, and we went to, and they called me panicking. She's having bleeding of the rectum, and you know what bleeding of the rectum is? What? Cancer. So I said, did she have beet juice? Yes. I said, oh, that's the beet juice. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just the beet juice. So if you want to test your digestion, this is what you do for testing your digestion. You take beetroot juice. Beetroot, it's red. I'm sorry. That's okay. That's okay. Beetroot juice. You juice it through a masticating juicer. Then you drink. Then you wait.
36 hours.
No. If you're 36 hours, you're in trouble. It takes 5 to 6 hours to pass. It tells you how fast your GI tract is working. So after 6 hours, when you go to the bathroom, if it is normal, if it's not normal, it's going to tell you 6 or 8 hours is okay. 6 or 8 hours is okay. So after 6 hours, if your fecal matter is red, that means your GI tract is good. If the bowel is red, it means that you're not digesting your food. All right?
Can't you get that from another source?
What?
Let's say you have, you're having a salad,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot of greens, all sorts of deep greens.
Mm-hmm.
The same time frame,
Mm-hmm.
your fecal matter is green.
It's going to be green. Yes, but that can come from different stuff. You want to use red, or my sister says cayenne pepper, because you will know when it's reached there. I wouldn't do cayenne pepper, but you will know when you have arrived.
It will kill the infection.
Kill what?
It will kill the infection.
Cayenne pepper? No, cayenne pepper does not kill infection. It just burns. It have different function. They have different function for cayenne pepper, but it doesn't kill infection. All right, where did I left off? I think I jumped too far, so I'm going to go back to nutrition. Okay. Exercise. Exercise is really important. I know we can't walk to the door and back, right? But when you exercise, you bring on the happy hormone. You know what a happy hormone is? Honey, what's a happy hormone? Yes, endorphins. Endorphins. That's a happy hormone. You're right. Are you a nurse?
No.
Okay, all right. Good.
Nurses don't know this stuff.
They're nurses, okay. Yeah. So listen, exercise is critically important. It is critically important for your system. Because if you don't exercise, you have your hormone is going to be off, and when you exercise, it gives you a better outlook. Exercise is a vital component of healthy lifestyle, offering numerous physical and mental benefits. Engaging in regular physical activity help improve cardiovascular health, which is the #1 killer in the United States and the world. Build strength and endurance and maintain a healthy weight. Beyond its physical effect, exercise also plays a crucial role in boosting mood, reducing stress, and enhance cognitive function. Anytime you see cognitive function, that's what you want to be doing to keep your mind clear. Water. I remember helping this lady. She said, she told me, oh, I have this issue going on. And she said, I drink a lot of water. I said, okay, so she's drinking a lot. It can't be water then. So we keep going on, and we come right back again. So how many water are you drinking? 4 cups. Is 4 cups of water enough?
No.
How many cups of water does your kidney need? Don't guess. Now, my wife is a nurse, but she cannot answer these questions. Okay? No, the kidney. The kidney is really important. How many? You said 8? At least 8. That's very close. How many cups of water does the kidney need? Very close. One more down. 6. If you drink less than 6 cups of water, the body, the kidney is going to pull water from your head. It's going to pull it from your joints. And that's why you feel pain in your joints, because it's pulling water. Between your knee is a sac of water so you can move. If you're dehydrated, it's going to get thinner and thinner and thinner, and then you have bone upon bone. You need water to solve that problem. So, we're heading to church, and we're reading an article. I was in the New York Times. 75% of Americans. So it says 75% of Americans are dehydrated. That's not what it says. Chronically dehydrated. What does that mean, chronically? What is it? Daily?
Daily dehydrated.
They're chronically dehydrated. That means they're on the verge of a crisis. They're not drinking enough water. My water presentation is for a whole day to talk about water. Or we're just touching the tip of it. We will be doing a water presentation, but not today. So please bring your water the next time. I think we're going to do that tomorrow. Sabbath, yes. Bring your water and we test your water for you for free. Water is critically important. Drinking water is critical for overall health as it supports daily function, nutrient transport, and waste removal. Proper hydrating prevents dehydration-related issues and aids cognitive function. Again, cognitive function. It is important to stay mindful of your body's signal and maintain adequate water for optimal well-being. How many water do you think you should be drinking every day? No, if 6 is for your kidney, you're only giving your body 2 cups?
That's your weight in ounces.
No, American has been using that, and the 75% is chronically dehydrated. So we have to use another formula because that's not working.
They use the 8-cup method. The other one, the ounces I had, they don't.
They don't.
A lot of people do not know that.
What's the name of the doctor that we got information from at church about? Dr. Jeff? Tim Harner. Dr. Tim Arnold, a 70 Adventist doctor, says the minimum is 10 to 12 glasses per day. Minimum. What's the minimum mean? No less. No less than 10 to 12. He operates the American Institute of Medical Missionary in, I think it's in North Dakota.
So is that an 8-ounce glass or a 16-ounce glass? Or
You can measure it anyway. That's 16 ounces.
that would be 2 glasses.
That'll be 2 glasses. So if you're going to do that, you need 6 of that. Daily. Your 1 second. Your body needs, your kidney needs 6 glasses. So if you're below 6, then the body is pulling water from your head first. That means you can't think properly and make you dizzy and pull water from your joints. Yes, sir.
I went on a low-carb diet, and while I was on it, I wasn't drinking very much water,
Mm-hmm.
and I got pancreatitis twice.
Wow.
And my girl here, nurse, told me I wasn't drinking enough water,
Yes.
and after I started drinking plenty of water, I didn't have any more problems.
Praise God. Praise God for the nurses. Sunlight. Sunlight offers vital benefit to physical and mental health. It provides essential vitamin D. Vitamin D is so essential. And we could talk about the different types. You have D2 and D3. There's 2 types of vitamin D3. One is from lanolin and one is from lichen. If you're going to lichen, that's the one you should write, L-I-C-H-E-N. Vitamin 3 from lichen, L-I-C-H-E-N. That is the best form of vitamin D3. D2 is from plant. So when you go and take a vitamin D test, they add up your D2 plus the D3, and whatever number is that's where you are. D3, lichen D3 simulates better in the body than any other vitamin D. All right, let's go on. I'm only supposed to do this for 20 minutes. Let's get temperance. We don't have to talk about temperance because we eat when we're supposed to eat. If it takes 5 to 6 hours to eat, when should you eat? How should you space out your meal then? No, 5 to 6. Because you don't want to interrupt the food from your mouth to your rectum. You do not want to interrupt it. Water will not interrupt it after an hour to 2 hours. Scientists prove that after you've eaten, do not drink water right away. It will dilute your hydrochloric acid in your stomach. Do not eat and drink. Do not eat and drink. Eat first. Give the body time for the food to leave the stomach. It depends on what type of food you eat. It takes 1 to 2 hours. Scientifically proven. So if you eat like your favorite food like cake, it will take 2 hours. An apple, 1 hour. Whoops, I lost. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25. Every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they that do it obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible crown. Fresh air. Fresh air is essential for overall health, improving lung function, mood, and mental clarity. Spending time outdoor and Spending time outdoors is very essential to revitalize both the body and the mind. When you in this inside here, what's the air? Is it negative or positive ion? You said positive? Inside is positive, outside is what? Is negative ion very important for you? Yes, it is. That's why you're supposed to be outside to get the negative ions. The animals have no problem because they're always where? Outside in the negative ions, and they're also grounding. And they walk on the ground. Do we walk on the ground? We walk on the ground, but we don't touch the ground. Grounding is another presentation I would like to do. If you ground, it will relieve inflammation. Anybody here have pain? Grounding. Grounding. I'm going to give you a quick snapshot of grounding. Okay. 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 What's the reason?
I had intestinal parasite
Mm-hmm.
from going barefoot and walking.
Yes. That's what I was going to tell you now, how to avoid that. And that's critically important. So one of the safest way is to... Honeybees? What happened to them? Oh, you step on one and it... okay. Okay. All right. So one of the things you could do to do the safest way to do grounding is to have a rock in the ground and you wash the rock thoroughly. And you just rest your foot on it. And you ground. Grounding relieve inflammation. What causes pain? You're the nurse? What causes pain? Inflammation. Remove the inflammation, you remove. Remove inflammation, you remove. If you don't eat properly, you eat food that gives you inflammation. Inflammation gives you pain. To remove the pain, you have to remove the inflammation. What causes the inflammation? Rest. The most. All of these are doctors. Can I say anyone is more important than the other? I can't, because they're so balanced. Do you need rest? Okay, so I was talking to my wife today when we were coming down. So most people can't rest properly because they're in pain. That means it disrupts their sleep. One thing you can do is have a set time to go to bed, a set time for eating, and a set time for worship. A set time for eating, a set time for worship, and a set time for bed. If you set that clock in your body, okay, you turn the clock on and you turn it off. Your body has a clock. If you're going to eat at 5 o'clock every day, at 4 o'clock, and every 15 consecutive minutes, the body produces more hydrochloric acid, more hydrochloric acid, more hydrochloric acid every 15 minutes until you're ready to eat. So when you're eating at 5, you have enough HCl. You have enough HCl in the stomach. If you says, I'm not eating at 5, I want to eat at 6, what happened? You wasted that already, and the body has to produce more for you to eat at 6. One thing that it does, if you push the body too much, it cuts off your longevity at the end. That's why you eat organic food. To study about organic food is really important. When you eat organic food, the body has to do absolutely nothing. Nothing. It doesn't have to remove the waste, it just starts the digestion process. When you're drinking water, there is microcluster water and macrocluster water. Microcluster water, the body does nothing. Microcluster water is like distilled water, soft water. Macrocluster, the body has to break it down for it to be utilized. I'm giving it the balance because it's really important. Organic food, the body has to do no work at all. Microcluster water, which is like distilled water or soft water, the body does nothing. It takes 10 minutes from your mouth when you drink that water to get into your system. If you eat an organic apple, it takes less than an hour to be in your system because the body has to do no work. The less work you give to the body is the longer you'll live. Everybody understand that? The less work you give the body is the longer you'll live. Rest is the fundamental aspect of maintaining good health and well-being. It allows our body to, we call it the 3 R's. Recover, repair, and recharge. If you don't rest, all it does is does what? Repair, 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 and know what? Removal or recharge. The 3 R. Repair, remove, and recharge. Recover, the same thing, same concept. If you don't get good sleep, the most important one is not what? The removal is not there. Enough sleep. You want to know if you get good sleep? When you get up, what's the first thing you do? After praying, sometimes we won't allow you to pray. Go to do what? 1 or 2? You're saying that? I'm sorry. Do you do number 1 or number 2? Which one is more urgent? 1. And which one is next? So when you get up in the morning, I'm not concerned about number 1. I'm concerned about number 2. If you pass number 2, your body is functioning. That is also another presentation. So if you eat 2 meals, you're supposed to have 2 bowel movement. Optimum health, 2 meal, 3 bowel movement. So if you eat 3 meals, how many bowel movements should you have? 4. You need 1 more than your meal. Any question? That's impossible. The body, you have to have the body at optimal level. What optimal level is? And to study the colon, that's another presentation, and it takes about a couple of hours just to explain the steps. I'm just giving you a quick run over so you can understand it. A quick summary. First you get up, you're supposed to use the bathroom before your first meal. After your second meal, you use the bathroom again. Then in the evening, that's your bonus, you have 1 more before bed. That's optimal. That means your GI tract is working optimal. If it is not, then you can fix it now. Rest. 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 If I'm to stress any one of the, and I can't, because all of them is important. The reason why we have pain is because we're not resting. Because the body does the repair, and it cannot remove the waste. So you have the waste in the system, and it generates pain. Because inflammation, it doesn't get an opportunity to pass it out. Therefore, it retains in the body and gives you pain. God's people are supposed to be pain-free. When we have a health facility, and we have cancer patient with stage 4 and stage 3 cancer, and without any pain. That's the most painful, right? Stage 4 cancer is the most painful. Why they don't have any pain? They're resting and they're eliminating properly. If you don't eliminate it properly, you're going to have pain because it leaves inflammation in the system. That's why rest is critical. Most people cannot rest because they turn off the clock. You need to turn the clock back on, set a time for bed. Nobody can set that time for you. Nobody can set the time to eat. Nobody can set the time for you to go to bed. But it's critically important that you set the bedtime. I think you have trust at the last, trust in God. I think it should be at the top. I can't tell you how many patients we have worked with. And they follow all the laws: nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, air, and rest. But they don't trust God. They don't trust God. You don't trust God. Is there anything God cannot do? Why don't we trust Him? I have patient after patient. They don't trust God. Therefore, they cannot recover. They follow all the 7 except the last one. I know that's the most important. Do you trust God with your health? That's a big question. Are we going to switch over to the hypertension? And as my son switched over, I'm going to chlorine. We need to be within 2 hours. I'm going to discuss chlorine. And do you know why I'm discussing chlorine? I don't understand how God says, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. The information I'm giving you, I'm not telling you to make any change. You do not have to make no change. All I'm doing is educating. You're educated, you make educated decisions. Or you can just ignore it. Anybody know what this is? Tissues. Hmm? No, not that one. Not that. Sorry. Okay, number 1. Yeah. Yes. Yes. What's the difference between these two? Don't know. What's the difference between these two? Company, yeah. What's the difference? Choice. Everybody have a choice. We make choice every day.
This one says it's recycled, so that means someone else blew their nose.
I like that. I like that. What is the difference between this and this? The information is life and death. And we go to the store and we just pick up stuff. We don't read the stuff. It's what? What is it? You don't read the label. I thought you give the answer a while ago. Honey, you cannot give the answer. There's a difference between these two, and it's very important.
$2. $2 This is $1.
This is
That's
a-
$3.
No, this is $1.
Oh, okay. No, that's
Well, if you
$1.
buy it in a package, they'll be almost the same price. It's just how you buy it. The price is not important. What I'm giving you is more important than the price. It's your life. It's your life. This Bounty, they whiten it with chlorine. Everybody know what chlorine is? We don't use bleach here, right? Nobody uses bleach. I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at you. Do you use bleach here?
No, but I use chlorine in my swimming pool.
There's an article on that.
I know. I think it's on purpose.
Somebody asked me the question, what you do, because you don't want chlorine in your water. But we're not talking about swimming pool, because that's a choice you make to go in the swimming pool. What I'm telling you is something that affects you every single day of your life. This is whitened with chlorine. This is whitened with hydrogen peroxide. This is not whitened at all. As a matter of fact, this is all the tissues, the napkin, everything is this color first. This is unbleached. It says it on it. Unbleached. It's what? It's wood pulp. Unbleached. This is the best format. You can use this one, just make sure it doesn't have chlorine. It's not whitened with chlorine. Why am I emphasizing chlorine? You put it, okay. What is chlorine? Who said that? You did? It is a poison. Chlorine is a poison. Which system in the body does chlorine affect the most? Very close. Not the liver. Eventually reach the liver, not the kidney. Which system?
Lymphatic system.
No, not the lymphatics. What do you call it? Thyroid. What's the thyroid system, honey? Your endocrine system. This, when I say your endocrine system, that's your life. Because the endocrine control your thyroid. Your thyroid control everything in your body. This is a poison. Not only does it change the color of your teeth if you have swimming pool, it dries out your skin. It gives you a respiratory issue. These are just some of the stuff. Chlorine is an endocrine disrupting chemical that can interfere with your hormones and damages your cell. All you have to do, go to the store. Thank you. Go to the store and just look for the. Can you go back to one for me, please? We just pulled that from a presentation. Chlorine was used as a warfare, by the way. World War I was sodium.
No, chlorine.
You sure? Okay. Okay, yes. The sodium was used as a bomb. Chlorine was used together. As a matter of fact, if you take chlorine and sodium mixed together, that's salt. That's table salt. We don't use table salt here, right? Please don't tell me you use table salt. Please. Only for what? If you what?
Only if she eats watermelon.
You use table salt?
I like salt.
But why table salt?
Sea salt.
Oh, sea salt. We don't use table salt here, right? Because table salt has two poisons. It has sodium, which is a bomb, and chlorine, which is a poison mixed together. So when the doctor says you have hypertension, he says, don't eat salt. What salt is he talking? What does he tell you? I had a friend of ours who was in Jamaica, right? And the doctor said she has E. coli. You know, is that what it is? No, in the stomach. H. pylori. And she said, Doc, what is causing it? He said, the food you're eating. And she stopped the conversation. The conversation should just begin. The food you're eating? So what do you mean, Doc? I shouldn't be eating no food? Is that what he's saying? So he said that to her, and she was satisfied. So what do you eat then, if the food is causing it? Nothing? You're going to die. But the doctor, he's going to answer you based on your question to him. What do you mean food, doctor? Which food? When he says salt, which salt is he talking about? He cannot be talking pink Himalayan salt. He cannot be talking Celtic salt, because those are mineral that you need. So which salt is he talking? He's talking the poison, which has chlorine and sodium. We are watching, anyone is in the army? Was in the military? I know, no. Anyone else? You're in the army? Oh, I thought you answered. Oh, okay. So we are watching a video how they were dumping the sodium in a lake in Idaho. Priest Lake? Chemical. And the army would pull up with a barrel of sodium.
Oh, no.
So it's on a truck. So they call on a truck and they roll it down. And when it hit the water, boom, 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 boom. The more it's the bigger the explosion. That's sodium. It's make bombs. All you have to do is to put water on it. That's what we take when we take salt in. It's a bomb. And chlorine is also used as a chemical in World War I. World War I. All right, let's go back to this. You have a choice. Chlorine or no chlorine. If your endocrine system is off, a matter of fact, the FDA says if you work at night, you're going to have cancer. Well, how could they say that? How would they have the information? If you work at night, you're going to have cancer. Why would they say that? If you work at night. The FDA have it on their website. If you work at night, you're going to have cancer. Why do they say that? Not getting preference. But what else? No, you can get the sun in the day. Why are they so sure you're going to have it? It's your endocrine system. What's going to happen to it? What? Which part of the endocrine system? The hormone is going to be off. If you don't rest, your hormone is off. If your hormone is off, you're going to get cancer. No, you can get, people work in the night, they can get up, they can take a walk, but that's not what they're saying. They're saying your hormone is going to be off. If your hormone is off, you're going to be sick.
Body rhythm.
The body rhythm is going to be off. Most sickness, your hormone is the one that needs to be fixed, along with what is going on. So, Kleenex, chlorine, non-chlorine.
Does it say that on the box?
So on the box, it says, on the box it says, let me get there. It says, no added chlorine bleach, no added fragrance, no added dyes. Well, if it's white, there's no dye in it. There's no fragrance because they don't smell anything. But what are they really advertising? The chlorine. This is no chlorine. This is whitened with no chlorine. This has it on it. This has it on it. This says, you can pass these around. I'm leaving the best for last because I'm just so upset. You can pass those around. So you can see them at the store. These, you can pass these around too. But I want you to pay attention to the most important of them and see why am I upset. What is this? What is this? Oh, sorry. Okay. It's called female hygiene. Now, if this has chlorine in it, keep this on for 8 hours. 8 hours of what?
Fluorine. 8 hours of fluorine.
Of poison in your system. Anybody know who's? Oh, my wife can't answer because she's the only nurse here. Which system in your body is the fastest growing cell? Fastest growing cell in your body? All females should know that. All females should know that. Well, everybody should know that because it's your reproductive organ. It's the fastest growing cell. Now, if you put this on for 8 hours, 4 hours of constant what? Poison.
Constant application.
Constant application. Poison after poison. Whoever invented this? I don't know. Anyhow, there's an alternative. Every female, everybody here, if you're between, what is called again? The period between, no, sorry. Childbearing age, that's what I want to get. If you're between childbearing age, it is very important. You should tell everyone you know, do not use this, even if they give it to you for free. There's another one they have. This one says organic cotton, and it said it's in French, so I don't do French, so hold on. It says no chlorine. So it's, other than it's organic cotton, it has no what? So everybody here, you have an obligation. If your family member is between childbearing age, you have to tell them about this. You are doubly responsible now because you have that information. I think this is very wicked. All right, let me talk a little about chlorine and then we move on. It says chlorine is an endocrine disrupting chemical that interferes with your hormones, damages your cell. It has respiratory issues. It makes your teeth yellow. If you're in a swimming pool, yes, it does. You know what those swimmers does, right? They're in the pool all the time. And it dries out your skin. This is just some of it. I'm not concerned about what it does. I'm concerned about what it does to your endocrine system.
Benjamin Franklin. Franklin invented it.
Benjamin Franklin.
But it had a different purpose then.
I know. Not used for intended purposes.
No, it was for wounded.
This is a nurse going in to treat a soldier who has been exposed to chlorine. What does she have on her face?
Gas mask.
What she need it for?
Got a lot of chlorine on it.
Oh, you have a lot of chlorine. So why does she need a mask for? If she goes in, it's going to kill her in there. So she's treating him with what? She has to protect herself. One more thing and then we can go to hypertension. Okay. That's a soldier guarding. What does he have on? What is he guarding? Chlorine. This is in World War I. Why does he have a mask on for?
So he doesn't want to die.
If you're in the military and you're booming those guns, you better put something over your ears or you're going to have no ears when you come out, right? Now, he wants to live. So he puts on a what? How long do you think he could live standing guarding that stuff? And why is he guarding it for? Because he knows it's a what? Somebody could open it and kill a lot of people with that. This is actually how chlorine looks. A highly poisonous gas.
That can happen industrial.
Yes. So Benjamin, he invented it for industrial purposes.
No, not this. He invented
The sanitary pads. Okay, good. But it has chlorine in it. It has chlorine in it. Now you have the information to pass on to everybody you know. If you love them, do not use chlorine sanitary pad. Do not use chlorine bath tissue. You want no chlorine in your system. And by the way, when you blow your nose with this, does any chlorine get up in there? It says that respiratory issue, right? So if I have respiratory issue and I use this, it makes it what? Worse. Oh.
Especially if you got asthma.
I didn't go deep. All I was doing was just touching the surface. Because chlorine does give you asthma. It does. But we're just touching the surface. We're going to do the next presentation and we'll take a question. Hypertension, please. I'm going to move a little far. Any question on chlorine? Any question on what we did?
Mary Beatrice Davidson is the actual inventor of the sanitary pad
Okay.
for women.
For women, okay. Now there is so much other choices that you can use. And it is getting better and better and better and better. Don't be stuck in the old ways because you're killing yourself. Any question on chlorine? Any question on what I covered before? Water? Oh, by the way, all right, while he's setting up, if 75% of all Americans is critically dehydrated, if that applies to you, how do you get out of being dehydrated? More water, yes, but how? Thank you. How? How do you break the dehydration cycle?
Oh, you have to actually work at it.
There's a cycle.
You could always eat salt.
No, you're dehydrated. You don't want salt. No, that's going to make it worse.
Well, if you have a horse and he won't drink water, if you give him salt.
No, but no, dehydration, if you eat salt and you dehydrate, it makes it worse because you're going to need more water. Here to break the dehydration cycle. Okay, 6 cups of water. 6 cups of water consumed in 20 minutes for 7 consecutive days. 6 cups of water consumed in 20 minutes for 7 consecutive days.
So you're just going to do 6 cups of water in a
No.
20-minute set.
Yes. I'm not talking about the rest of your water. I'm saying what you're doing is breaking the dehydration cycle. 7. They give you saline. If you're dehydrated and you go to the hospital,
So now what's saline exactly?
it's just salt and water.
It's just
Yeah, but
Right.
it's
It's a different type.
specific
Specific amount.
like a 1%.
Yeah, yeah, that's all it is. And by the way, it yeah, and it's bypassing your digestive system and go straight in your blood. So it's bypassing your digestive system to go straight to your blood so that you can be hydrated faster.
And it is not important salt.
No, it's not. We won't go there.
Well, that's the salt you're talking about.
Yes.
You're talking about bleached salt
Yeah.
that only has 2 elements.
Yeah.
Sodium and chlorine.
Yeah. But listen, if you want to, so how do you know you're dehydrated, by the way? Headaches is one. You pinch your skin.
Pinch your skin up like that, and it sticks up like that, and it'll let you know for sure you ain't got enough water in you.
That's one way too. All right, I like that. Any other way? Unusually tired. Thank you. Unusually tired. What else?
Do you urinate and you feel like you can't empty your bladder if you're dehydrated?
You had the right part of it is correct. You check your urine. If it is darker in the morning, you're in trouble. And you can break the dehydration cycle.
Urine in the morning.
Urine in the morning. It's kind of,
Pun.
huh?
It was a pun.
It's up. So when you get up in the morning, if it is yellow, you're dehydrated.
If it's orange.
No, that's a different level. That's in another category if it's orange. That's another category if it starts to smell. But we're just saying normal. we just says normal. Let's go on. So to break the dehydration cycle, 6 cups of water consuming 20 minutes for 7 consecutive days.
When in the day?
Very good.
Is this in the morning or any time of day? Anytime?
So your body can take more beating in the morning than any other time in the day. So you want to get it in the morning.
Drinking more water, aren't you consuming more chlorine?
You're not drinking chlorine water. You're drinking pure water. No, we're not talking chlorine. You're drinking pure. When he said pure water, what does that mean? Yeah, but distilled is just one of the pure. What other water you have that's pure? Spring water? Well water? Some well water? Distilled water? What about reverse osmosis water? RO water? I don't know. Zero water is reverse osmosis water and they add chemical to it.
It's filtered 5-stage.
A 5-stage? Okay. So I don't know about that one. I know.
It has no mineral content.
So is it done reverse osmosis?
No.
It's just filtered, but reverse osmosis is filtered, but it's just force filtered.
That's a different type of filter.
Different type of filtration.
This
Okay.
is a different type.
Okay.
Pure water is different.
Okay. So pure water is reverse osmosis water, distilled water, spring water. By the way, what kind of water are we supposed to be drinking?
Spring water,
Spring? Why you say spring?
because it's naturally provided by God.
I think God give us something better than that. What did He give us first? He give us rainwater. What does rainwater have in it? It is what?
Smog.
Smog?
Acid rain.
Well, if you're here, you have to check with your town health department, and they'll tell you when you can drink the rainwater. But if God give you rainwater, He has to give you a substitute because you can't drink the rainwater because it's going to kill you. But what does the rainwater has in it? That's a different one. Come on, what does rainwater have in it?
I don't know. I guess it would be like trace minerals or something.
Lemon, what does rainwater?
It has positive and negative neutrons.
No, it would be negative. If it's outside, it's negative. It's a negative ion. But what does rainwater have? It's alkaline.
Alkaline. Thank you.
How does it get alkaline?
Lord, this is like
If it is distilled, because when the rain is pulling up, it pulls up pee, filthy water, sea water, fresh water, all kind of water it pulls up, right? The sun is indiscriminate. It doesn't care, right? So it pulls it up. That's the distillation. And leave all the sediments behind. Then it turns it into rain, right? And when it comes down, it gets charged in the atmosphere. Ionized is different from alkaline water. So the best water to drink is rainwater. If you can't drink rainwater, you drink alkaline water. Let's move on to hypertension.
So the hyperbaric content is alkaline, right?
The conjugate water?
The company content.
Conjugate. Yes. So yes, it is alkaline water. So that's done by electrified. You have another one that's much simpler, which does the same thing too. Yes, it's alkaline water. Conjugate is very expensive.
I know.
So they're simpler. What's the name of the machine we have home again? For the alkaline water. No, the machine. Santivia.
Can you drink humidified water?
That's distilled water. Humidified is distilled water. If you drink,
Like if I have a basement and it's wet and I run the humidifier or dehumidifier,
mm-hmm,
dehumidifier,
Still have to filter.
it fills a bucket up with water that's probably like a gallon or more water.
mm-hmm.
Is that drinkable or usable in any way without just
It's
throwing
certainly not even close to drinkable. Not even close to drinkable
Yeah, I think it would probably, if you have any mold spores, it
Mhm.
would probably be
in the
there.
water.
So that would not be good.
There's a machine out
So
there that
it's-
does that,
Yeah. So,
but it's a very isolated.
yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing growing on
Yeah.
the cooling tube.
Yep. There's a machine to do that. But as I said, water is a 1-day presentation or 5-hour presentation. But what I'm saying to you, you do not want to drink that water.
do not want to drink.
Do not drink that water.
Okay.
If it's from your basement, you throw it out.
So, could I use it for like the garden or?
I would put it in my grass. I wouldn't put it in my garden. Because if it pulls in stuff, anybody know about rainbow vacuum? The concept of rainbow, anybody ever heard of a rainbow vacuum? How does it work? It pulls the thing in through the water, all right? And then the water gets thrown out, right? That works in almost the same manner, but a little different. So that water, even though it's clear, it's dirty. Okay? Because it's using distillation. By the way, how many forms of water do we have? Since we're in a sinful world, how many forms of water do we have? Liquid, solid, and gas. 3 forms. Before sin, how much we had? Before sin, how much we had? Before sin. We have 3 now. How much before sin? So we had 2. 2 before sin, 3 after sin, and that's the solid. You don't want to get, I said water, you got it. Solid came after sin, but you had 2. So that's another presentation. All right. Any question before we move on? Hypertension. I'm going to go through fast because we have a time limit on. What is hypertension? It's a heart disease. Okay, what's the number 1 killer in the United States? Cardiovascular disease. In the world, number 1 disease, cardiovascular. All right. Hypertension can kill you. It's one of the silent killer. Yes. Is it my machine that's sleeping?
Yeah.
You didn't set it? Okay. Okay, let me move that. Anybody know what that plant is? Hibiscus. We went to Jamaica, and the church we went to do a presentation. Almost everybody in the church have either 1 or 2 sickness. They either have hypertension or diabetes. Diabetes is how they eat. Or both. Well, diabetes and hypertension are very closely related. If you take care of hypertension, you will indirectly take care of diabetes. No, it's not all food, not just food alone. If you don't rest, you can have hypertension. If you don't get good rest, you're going to have hypertension. That hibiscus was falling off the ground. And they go to the doctor and they get medicine. Hibiscus, you use it in Jamaica for Caribbean and Latin America for hypertension. And you use sorrel, not the sorrel that grows here. the sorrel that grows in the Caribbean country, in Panama, in Antigua. It's the red stuff. So you mix the sorrel with the hibiscus for better taste, because you're going to be drinking that tea a while. And it doesn't have the best taste, but it's very helpful. So you mix it with sorrel for taste. Stunning as it may sound, nearly half of American ages 20 years and up, or more than 122 million people have high blood pressure, according to a 2020 report from the American Heart Association. 20 and up?
I think that's a low number.
We just stay here. We know it's more. Because you may have a hypertension you don't even know.
It's about a third of our population.
Yes, could be. When we start to look at diabetes, you're going to see it's almost the same pattern, because there's not much difference. Too little attention is generally given to the prevention of health. It is better to prevent disease than to know how to treat it when contacted. Let me ask you a question. When you're sick, what are the steps that God give us? Rest, yes. Rest is important. Well, it's the reason why you're sick is that you have violated one of those laws, one of those doctors. Yes, ma'am. Low blood pressure? I always get that question. Can I talk to you afterward? Because it's almost the same thing we're doing here, but it's a little different. What you said? Okay. How much water are you drinking? What you said? Huh? Tomorrow? Can we talk tomorrow? Will you be here tomorrow? Who has a low blood pressure?
Me.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in the 70s, over 30s. I mean, it's really low.
Are you physically active?
I mean, fairly. Yeah.
Can you run? Can you sprint?
No. No, not anymore.
All right. Not anymore. Why? Anybody ever heard of HIIT, high intensity exercise? High intensity interval training? You don't need to be fit. You can just jog as fast as you can and just bring your heart rate up and stop. It is really important. But
And I don't sleep either.
huh?
And I don't sleep either.
I know.
I go days without sleep. And I'm lucky if I sleep maybe a couple
Okay, let me ask you. One of the major problem is that your digestive system is off. If your digestive system is off, it tells the brain not to rest. Because in your stomach, you have brain cells speaking to the brain, back and forth, back and forth. If anything is off with the GI system, you're not going to sleep. So to solve the sleeping issue, one of the things you do is to fix the stomach issue. The stomach and the brain is closely related together. Whatever affects the stomach affects the brain. Whatever affects the brain affects the stomach. That's why I said tomorrow we can talk. All right? And I know that's one of the problems. You're not sleeping properly. Okay. By the use of poisonous drugs, many bring upon themselves lifelong illness, and many lives are lost that might be saved by the use of the natural methods of healing. What are the 3 steps when you're sick? 3 steps, 4. What's the first step? You can answer. What's the first step? Ascertain the cause. Why am I sick? Don't do anything else until you ascertain the cause. What's the next step? Change wrong habits. What's the third one? Correct unhealthy condition. And what's the 4th one? assist nature in restoring and eliminating, expelling impurity and restoring right condition in the system. What's the 4 steps again? We can't tell you how many times you go to places and it says, what can I use for this? And I'm stuck. Do I tell them what to use? But I'm not telling them everything. So I'm stuck. Well, if they just want this, I'll just give it the herbs. But that's not going to fill the problem. What does Proverbs chapter 16 verse 2 says? The cure is in the what? The cure is in the cause. We had a doctor friend, we're in Idaho, and my doctor friend called me from Connecticut and says, this is happening to me. What? Can you give me some herbs? I said, what happened? I changed my shift from day to night. I said, you don't need the herbs. Just change back your shift to the day. That's it. You don't need the herbs. You don't need anything. Just change your shift back. Oh, I got more money in the night. I said, doctor, which one you want? You can give me all the money. That's fine. Or you can just simply just change your shift. Which one you want to do? She just quickly change your shift because her health is more important than the money.
Darn right.
It's more important than the money. More important. All right. High blood pressure or hypertension means that the high pressure tension in arteries are the vessels that carry blood from the pumping of the heart to the tissues and different parts of the body. Oh, by the way, most people, when you have hypertension, their fingers are bigger. Yes. Why is it bigger? Circulation issue. Okay. So when your heart pumps the blood, the first blood, okay, hold it. So when the first pump, it goes to here, right? So look at your hand. When the heart pumps, the first rhythm takes it to here. The second rhythm does what? Huh? Brings it back. So if the heart pumps the blood to the finger doesn't have all the thing in it. So the next pump pushes the blood in, and while it's pushing it in, the other blood comes out. When your finger is big, it's not circulating properly. I'm not saying people who are big finger. I'm just saying if you have hypertension, then generally your fingers are bigger because the blood is not pumping properly. Too much pressure on the blood. Hypertension is as the systolic pressure reads the top number. When you have hypertension, when you come to us and you have hypertension, we're not concerned about the top number, systolic. Which one are we concerned about? The diastolic. Why?
That's the resting.
So that could be 200. All I'm concerned is what is the bottom number?
Yeah, you could have been running 5 miles.
You could have been. Yeah, that could be something. When you're doing a cleanse for hypertension, do not take your blood pressure. I know. Because once you're cleansing, your blood pressure is going to go up, down, up, down. Why is it doing that? Because you're cleansing the artery. And some is going to be tighter than some. So when it goes up, it's tight. When it goes down, it's loosening. So it's going to be a seesaw up and down. I can't tell you how many of our clients will say, don't take your blood pressure while you're doing a cleanse. Because it's going to go up. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. After the cleanse, you can take your blood pressure normal. What do you see? What do you see? Yeah? I see normal, pre-hypertension, and hypertension. What happened? What is happening?
The vessel is getting narrow.
Why is it getting narrow?
Because it's got plaque.
Plaque. You ever see an athlete has plaque? They have no bulge, but they have plaque and heart problem. Why? That's what caused the problem. They're eating, but they're exercising, but you can't see what's going on inside. but they're full of plaque. I was looking up because I'm doing a presentation next month in Maryland, and we're doing cardiovascular disease. And this guy, he's a trainer, and he was training other people how to be healthy, lean and mean, and he has a heart attack. The good thing, when he had a heart attack, a doctor was in the gym, and the doctor knew what to do. He said, I'm going to hell, or I'm going to die with a six-pack. What does he mean by that? He's healthy and he's going to what? He's going to die. Well, he's not really healthy. He looks healthy, but he's full of plaque. Which one is normal? The one on the left or the right? What's wrong with the left? It's shrinking. What is causing that? What causes plaque? Cholesterol is fine. What causes plaque?
Well, the doctors say cholesterol.
You said cholesterol. Yeah, I know. I'm okay with cholesterol. But what else causes plaque? No, don't put stress in it because stress is a different element. It messes with everything, but not stress. Don't put stress in there.
Well, obviously we don't know. I'm just thinking it's bacon.
It's your food.
Your food.
It's your food. It's your, if you're eating inflammation food, that's inflammation food right there. That's somebody who's eating well. So if your food has what we call, anybody know what low-grade inflammation is? No nurse can answer. What is low-grade inflammation? What does that mean? Okay, so when you go to the doctor, what is he going to say? What's it, the RDI for inflammation? What's the blood test you do for? The what? CBC. No, not the CBC panel. There's a blood test that you do to see how much inflammation you have. Now, if it's low grade, what does it mean? It's under the radar. But what does that, is that dangerous? It is very dangerous because you're flying a helicopter, huh?
The mountain's coming up to you.
Yeah, not the mountain. You're flying a helicopter, you're under the radar, but you're just there. And you have low-grade inflammation for a long period of time. And then one day, the mountain shows up, and then you have an explosion. Low-grade inflammation comes from your food. Inflammation equals pain. Remove the inflammation, you remove the pain.
What test would you get see if your arteries were stopping up? How do they know?
How you clean it out?
How would you know? Of
How do you know if you have a low-grade inflammation? How do you know there's a blockage?
You take the blood test.
Oh, they do it.
The ES what?
Yes, sir.
The ESR test tells you, ESR test, if you're doing any blood panel, always do a ERS to find ESR. Sorry. Always do that. ESR to test your inflammation. And then you're going to ask him, am I low-grade inflammation? So you're going to ask him the question. And when you're doing your blood panel, I want you to do the vitamin D hydroxy test. Vitamin D hydroxy test. That's going to test your vitamin D to see where you are. D as in David. Hydroxy, vitamin D test. It's very important. Anytime you're doing a blood test, you want to have those included in your panel. And most of them are separate. Normal blood pressure is 120 over 80. Honey, how much they move it to now? Yeah, so I think it's 130. What is the less than, okay. So less than 120 over 80. And I know they move it up slightly. I think it's 130 to 85. I can't remember. Because so many people, if you know, when we do the diabetic presentation, you're going to see the same thing. They move it from the normal level to the average level. Which level are you should be shooting for? Less than? You should stay with the original one. 120 over 80. If you have hypertension, just go to sleep. And if that doesn't work, you change the diet. That's it. Just go to sleep. So let's. No, you don't. No. Too much sleep is not good. Too much of those is not good. You have to be moderate. That's why temperance is in there. Those are the 8 doctors that God gave us. If you follow those 8, you cannot be sick. Every sickness is caused by violation of the laws of health. Every sickness is caused by violation of the laws of health. So normal is 120 over 80. Pre-hypertension is 120 to 39 over 80 to 89. Stage 1, 140 to 159, 90 to 99, bottom number. Stage 2, 160 to 179, 100 to 109. Stage 3, 180 over 199 to 110 over 90. And the dangerously high, above 200. We had a when we were in Connecticut, a friend of mine called me, says, my blood pressure is in the roof. I'm in the doctor. I've already gotten 3 medication. And my high blood pressure is still high. You want to write this down? I didn't carry it with me today. You want to get an enema bag. You want an enema bag. I'm going to bring it tomorrow. It's called an open enema bag, which means you can put your hand in there and wash it out. Anybody know what an enema bag is? Yes? Everyone know what an enema bag is? To lower your blood pressure, you need 4 cloves of garlic, 4 large cloves of garlic.
I'm writing this down for large cloves of garlic. I mean, it's just going to be an enema. It's just you're shooting for something great, right? Okay.
No, if you no, listen. He's in the doctor's office. He has only gone through 3 rounds of medication, and his blood pressure is still high. And he calls and says, "What can I do?" I said, "You shouldn't even be there." But this is what you do: 4 cloves of garlic. The enema bag has 32 ounces, so 16 ounces you blend with the 4 garlic. Pure. Oh, by the way, this is critical important. If you're doing an enema, you want it pure water, and I recommend distilled water or reverse osmosis water, RO water. Okay? So distill, reverse osmosis, or pure water. 16 ounces of the water, blend with the garlic. You strain the garlic. The other 16 ounces, you put it on the stove to warm, and you put your hand in it. Oh, sorry. Make sure your hands are clean. Because what you're doing is actually testing the water to make sure it cannot burn you. Okay? Then you mix them together. So the 16 ounce that you blend, you strain it, put it in the enema bag first. Then the water that's on the stove that you're heating up or in a kettle, you heat it up so it's not too hot. And you pour it together, and then you use that enema. That will bring your blood pressure down. And also clean you out. So you get 2 things, you get 2 benefits. You get 2 benefits. when you take Cayenne, you know it's working because the burning is there. So
It's a gift. It's a double-sided gift.
It is?
It comes out as a gift.
Oh, what? You ready? Okay. Yeah, just heats them up. So what you do, you when you take Cayenne, do not lay down.
Oh yeah, when you take Cayenne, I don't lay
The enema. Okay, so you lie on your left side. You would grease the top of the end. You would grease it with a non-petroleum gel or oil, anyone that you have like a castor oil, olive oil, you grease the tip, you grease your rectum. Then you push it in on, if you tomorrow or Saturday, I'll show you the enema bag. You just push it in until it's reached the end because it has a round stop to tell it to stop. And then you just release the button. But you always lie on your left side. Always on your left side. Always on your left side. Left side when you're doing the enema. And you make sure you do it in the bathroom. Make sure you do it in the bathroom. Just lay in the bathroom and you just get up. Sometimes you have to stop it and then you continue again. Always do it in the bathroom.
Just in case.
No, not just in case. Just do it in the bathroom. Clear out all the mats out the bathroom and you just have a towel that you're lying on. All right. You have a question, ma'am? Did you lost it?
No. I was just wondering if, I mean, in India we take the garlic, we eat it.
Yeah, you can that will not lower the blood pressure because you come in. That will lower the blood. So okay, that will lower the pressure, but you want to do it now.
Yes.
So you bring it on the reverse. Yeah, if it's high, you bring it on the reverse. So that's going to be going right up there to bring it down quickly. But there is a method where you can use. You do avocado and garlic together, and that will lower your cholesterol, your blood pressure, and everything all at the same time. Even the eggplant too. But that takes a time. But you want to be down now. So that's why you use the enema. Mm-hmm. Any question? Any question? High blood pressure, we call it the silent killer. How much time do I have left? 7:46. Okay. All right, let's move a little. These are some of the symptoms of high blood pressure. High blood pressure has no symptom, which is called the silent killer. It causes progress changes in the blood valve until the first sign is usually a stroke or a heart attack. Kidney failure. So you want to test your blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, you want to test it a set time in the morning and a set time in the evening. Set time in the morning and a set time in the evening, twice per day. All right, these are some of the symptoms. When you have high or low blood pressure, you want to take a look at the kidney to see what the creatine level is, and everything on the kidney is functioning properly. These are some of the symptoms. I don't have to go over them because you know what they are already. If you have night sweat, urination pattern, aching in the lower back, changing in the urine color or smell, racing, palpitation, irregularity in the heart. Let me move on. I'm going to move a little fast, okay? Because I want to go to. Okay, causes. Intake of sodium, high intake of sodium, and low potassium intake. Obesity, high fat food, smoking, sugar. Of the two greatest danger, you have meat and you have sugar. Which one is the most dangerous by far? What does sugar do when you intake it? Shuts what down? Shut down your immune system. Shuts down your immune system for minutes at a time, 40 minutes, an hour. Sugar is way more dangerous than meat. The effects are immediate. Immediate. I remember when I was in the island, I used to eat sugar. You used to eat sugar? Cane sugar. Do not eat that. That's just pure poison.
So what's it used for? Did God create sugar? Like cane sugar? Like sugar cane?
God created sugar cane, yes, because sugar cane
What's
sugar cane
it
good
for?
for your teeth.
But it's not for us, is it for something
All right.
else?
She asked, why does God create it? God created opium. God created marijuana.
I thought that was for surgery. I mean, I don't know.
He created
I mean,
hops is good. Hops is
great.
good.
Hops is
So
great.
so is there's certain thing God says, I give you the knowledge when to eat it, if you're to eat it or not to eat it. It's not for you. So sin to it. So
So Adam was supposed to pass down all this information and you,
Adam, yes.
it got lost.
See,
Sin. All right.
she had her mind elsewhere.
These are some of the causes: lack of exercise, lack of exercise, lack of exercise, malfunction of the kidney or the adrenal glands, spicy food, contraceptive if you're in childbearing age. These are some of the causes for hypertension. Eating all flesh, different type of flesh, caffeine, competitive sports and activity, high cholesterol, drug-induced blood pressure. Okay, skipping those. Okay. This was published in 1992. It says, our data indicate that a non-pharmacologic intervention will lower both systolic and diastolic blood pressure level. I mean, what they're saying is that this from 1992. They said, if you eat properly, you can both lower both of your blood pressure. You can lower your blood pressure by just eating without pharmacy. I remember we were helping this client. They were taking 1, 2, 3 diabetic medicine, night, morning, and midday. You know what the sugar levels are? 300, 400. I said, you have a choice, okay? You can bring those numbers down onto 100 if you want. All you have to do is just be diligent. You can bring that number down to normal. All you have to be diligent. Don't get discouraged. What the bottom one says, trust in God, which should be at the top. And you can bring your blood pressure down to normal. I'm going to give you what I'm going to focus on is the remedy. How to turn, if you come in the room, you come home from work, there's water on the floor, the faucet is running, what's the first thing you do? You're sure. If you come in, there's water everywhere, the pipe is running, it's flooded over, what do you do first? Why you turn the faucet off? Stop the water. When you go to the doctor, what do? Do they turn off the faucet or they just get your mop and start mopping? What do they do? Just start mopping the water. So when you go to the doctor, all they're doing is doing what? Mopping up the water. What do you want to do? Turn off the faucet. We had when we had a restaurant, we had this lady, she wasn't even Adventist. She comes and says, I'm taking high blood pressure medicine for 25 years. I said, just a curious question. So year 4, year 5, 6, and 7, you didn't realize it wasn't working? 25 years? 25. So all you're doing is just taking drugs and just keep you moving. Goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. So I said to her, I said, sis, she was from the Caribbean. I think she was from, no, probably St. Vincent. By the way, when we do the diabetic presentation, you're going to see the place where you live, that's where the sickness is. How you eat. Hypertension and diabetes are closely mirrored together. So when we go to Jamaica and we do presentation, we have to do both. Hypertension and diabetes because they're so closely related and it's how they eat. We need to turn off the faucet. How do we turn off the faucet? First step. Foods to avoid. Oh. Thank you so much. What Miss Alpha? Okay. Foods to avoid. All flesh and their byproducts. That means you have to read the labels. When we have clients, we go shopping and show them how to read the label. Is that important? It's very important. If you go to the store and you see some words that you don't understand, you're going to buy that still? I don't even know what the hell this word spell. I don't want that in my food. Yeah, you should. The FDA has given the green light for over 3,000 chemical in your food. You want chemical in your food? We were watching an advertising, right? And this guy, they were doing water. And the guy was in Colorado, says, this water is just below, the lead in this water is just below the state standard level. And the guy says, who wants water with lead in it? Who cares what the state level is? You want water with lead in it? No. The state could say 6. Do you want water with lead in it? I don't.
Water with mercury in it?
You want water with mercury? It's still poison. So you have to read the labels. When you go to the grocery store and you buy canned food, all the canned food has a lining in it. You know the canned food has a line in it? You know that, right? Okay, so what do you look for? What's the lining says in it? BPA free. Okay, why do they put the plastic in the can? It doesn't rust, but what's the real purpose?
Oh, they were just trying to poison us.
No, they're not poisoning you, because you had can before. The plastic was like about 20 or 15 years now. But why do they put plastic in the can? To keep? You're correct. You're close. To keep what?
Keep your food from being can up.
No, to keep the food longer. They put the plastic in there to keep the food longer. Yes, because
I thought people, when they bought canned food, they use it fairly quickly. So how long is someone going to keep canned food?
canned food can stay a while. You use it fairly quick and you rotate in your
Not
stock.
at my house.
So if you buy a can, most of them is you want it has the lining, you want it to say BPA free lining. Fatty food, chocolate, tobacco, alcohol, coffee, caffeinated soft drinks, and additive and stimulants. We were in Canada, and this lady stands up and says, let me ask you a question. Is chocolate bad for you? This is the Adventist church, I said, she's playing a game with me, isn't she? I realized she was serious. So I had to stop the presentation and tell her, do you know how to make chocolate? Everybody know how to make chocolate? How do they make chocolate? Yes, cocoa. How do they make it? If you're eating something, you should know how to make it. Am I correct? I want to know how they make it. If you eat it, you should know how they make it. And why is it bad? What he said? They add sugar and milk in it.
So
Listen,
it's a cocoa bean, right?
hold on.
What is it like? Chop it up and dehydrate it and make it a powder?
In my church in Pennsylvania, if I touch chocolate, they'll kick me out. Or stone me. So I better, if I'm dealing with chocolate, I don't want anybody to get upset. All I'm going to do is just give you information. What they said?
That's good.
Okay, yeah, they can say whatever they want. All I'm going to say to you is, do you know how they make chocolate?
No. Are you going to tell us, or are you going to make us look it up?
It's best you look it up sometimes. So what they do, they take the cocoa bean, and first of all, from the cocoa bean is on the plant, what's the first animal tested?
Probably a sloth.
Come on, you're from Panama. What animal tests the cocoa plant? The Caribbean. Ah, the monkey can't smell through that.
What did you say?
What animal tests the cocoa to make sure it's ripe? The rats. So from the tree, the rats are messing with it. When they pick the cocoa and put it on the ground, there's rats in it. The USDA says if you have this amount of pee, this amount of poo, this amount of rat here, it's okay to consume. And they make it's in a block like this. Picture this as a clear black square chocolate. This is how it comes. Tastes bad. Just like that. So it says for each block that comes in, if you have this amount of rat poo, this amount of rat pee, this amount of rat here, is okay. We went to the store with my mother, and I told her years ago about the rat in the in the chocolate, right? And she said, okay. She came to visit us, and we're at the store again, and she picks up the chocolate. I said, Mom, you know there's rat poo. My mother is extremely clean. And I said, there's rat poo, rat pee, and rat here. She said, you're lying to me. My niece was there. She's a nurse. She said, Grandma, it is true. And she goes, oh, I can't believe how many years I'm eating that. She is clean. And she says, I'm eating rat poo, rat pee, rat here for how many years? She just couldn't. So I said, Mom, first of all, that's just the beginning of chocolate. All the stuff it does to you. Would you eat chocolate if you know it have rat poo in it? Because when they pick the chocolate, they put it on the ground. But remember, before it's even ripe, the rats are in the tree testing it. When it is cut, they put it on the ground, and the truck comes and gathers it. While the truck is gathering, there's rats in it. Chocolate affects your blood pressure. They can say whatever they want. All I'm doing is just giving you information. What you do with it, that's up to you. It affects your blood pressure. Thank you. I'm going to wrap up, so I'm going to go to I'm going to skip the foods to avoid.
Skip that fried food right now.
No, skip it.
Skip.
Fried food.
Fried food.
I'm going to tell you this. Fried food tastes good. From the Caribbean, anybody from the Caribbean, if they could fry water, it would be what? Everything. When the soup is left over, you cut the dumpling in half and you fry the dumpling, fry everything that's in the soup. Does that taste good? But it's killing you. I'm going to move a little faster. So we're going to talk about cayenne in a few seconds. Pepper, if you use cayenne pepper for medicinal purposes. For what?
Medicinal purposes.
The heated unit should be 45,000 or above. 45,000 heated unit or above. What we use is 90,000, which is the highest level. And that's the level you want to use.
That'll light you up.
That will light you up. As I said, when you take cayenne, don't lay down. Do not lay down, because you'll feel it.
Yeah, you're not going to be laying down.
You're not going to be
So you're talking about 45,000? You said 45,000?
heated unit. That's how they measure it.
Stove valve?
Yes.
Okay.
40. So you want the best is 90,000.
The best bet is 90,000.
90,000 heated unit.
I'm talking about like in North Carolina.
No, yep. So that's for internal. If you're using it for topical, we recommend 160,000 unit
Okay.
for topical. But for internal, 90, 100, 120 is fine. We're going to move fast because food to increase.
Use it with orange juice or what the capsule?
Capsule.
Not orange juice?
You can put it on your food, or you can use it in capsule. And food.
Yeah, you're good at that.
No, for faucet.
No, you do not want to heat the cayenne. You'll destroy its medicinal properties.
You apply
Put it
it
raw
after.
in the end.
I can tell you have a good workout tonight. Yeah.
You made my day.
Okay, praise the Lord. No, the Lord made your day. I'm just his instrument. Food to increase. You want to make sure you have a lot of diuretic food in. Celery, see the celery there? Fruits. Oh, let me ask you this question. When you're eating, I'm talking to you from the Caribbean, Indian, and Latinos. How are you supposed to eat? The food is set in front of you. There's a dish in front of you. Okay? What item are you supposed to eat first? The cook? Why?
The process is fast.
Because when you go eat, the food
Like
is
you
the first
ferment.
thing to go, until you eat, after you eat everything, get in the stomach and get it, how you say that, like sour or something like that.
You're close.
It's fermented the word.
Ferment. You're very close. Anybody else? Why do you eat the raw food first? Yes. You can't answer that one.
Starts digesting in your mouth.
Thank you very much. So, all right. So, why do you eat the raw food first?
You get the most nutrition from raw food.
And you fill up
What is-
faster.
You just asked me.
Why do you eat? If you have a plate of food in front of you, why you eat the raw first? All right, honey, you can. I know you don't can't answer. You know, she knows. Anybody else? Anybody else? Not this table.
Raw food would digest quickly and out, but then if you put it in afterwards, it will mix with the others that they're gonna take a longer time to digest, and then they ferment in there with those.
No, the cooked food won't ferment because you're not.
No, he's talking
No,
about
it's
raw
raw.
food.
No, okay. So you have the answer, but you're not giving me in the right manner. Anybody else? Why do you eat raw food first?
Because your wife gave it to you.
Richard, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Whatever she puts in front of me.
It starts the digestion. You want it to activate your digestion. So you eat raw food first. Anybody know the candy wrapper method? Raw food in the beginning, raw food in the end, and cooked food in the middle. That means it starts the digestion process. The candy method, you have the candy at the end, raw at the beginning, raw at the end.
So raw food, sushi.
Sushi. Sushi. So you have raw sushi. You're talking, the sushi is raw, but some of them they just put it over fire to roast it. So with sushi? Vegan sushi. So is the sheet raw or is it roasted?
That's raw.
It's raw. Okay then. So what you putting in it now?
Cooked rice.
So that wouldn't be raw anymore.
Cucumber.
We had. I know my time is up, but just give me. We have 7 minutes. So this is what I want to tell. It's very important, and this affects female first before male. So does the chlorine affects female first before males. So raw food. I had a sister. She just got married in New Jersey. Went to their wedding, and she had low. What was she had again? A low. She okay. So she had bulgur, and you put lemon juice on bulgur to cook it. Just like how the Japanese take the fish, they put lemon juice on it, and the lemon juice cooks the fish. She was anemic. Thank you. Okay, so she got it from some Adventist institution, who the Adventist institution got it somewhere outside. So they got it outside, they bring it in the Adventist world. I said, sis, you're very anemic. And the problem is that she's eating uncooked grain. What is uncooked grain? Grain, Grain. It affects women first. If you're anemic, you're not only iron deficient, your zinc and your calcium is deficient. So if the doctor says you're anemic, that's just iron. Know that your zinc and calcium is off too. Because the body has to use those, get those stuff out of your body to digest it. That uncooked grain. So when we're doing with certain nationality, American eat oatmeal every single day. What I said, every single day. Now, the oat is uncooked. If it is uncooked, what is going to be? Anemic. It's going to pull from your body iron, zinc, and calcium to digest the uncooked meal. How do you solve the problem? Yes, you could do that. You could dexterize the oats, but I'm going to give you the best method. Sprouted oats. And this Adventist company called 1 Degree. You want to write that down? They're from Canada. They make sprouted oats. 1 Degree. O-N-E degree. It's an Adventist company out of Canada. When you go to the grocery store, that's the oats they use. It's an Adventist company. They have sprouted oats. Now, if the oats is sprouted, you don't need to cook it, neither do you need to dexterize it. So before, Adventists used to do what with the oats? Anyone know what dexterizing means? Dexterization. Come on, this is Adventist. I like that. Okay, so Adventists used to do, back then, they used to get the oats, they put it in the oven. So we're going somewhere, we're doing a presentation. This lady said, I have 50 pounds of oats, organic oats. What do I do with it? We're talking about sprouted oats, and she wanted to switch because she's anemic. So I said, don't throw the oats away. You want to dexterize. Dexterization is put the oats in a pan, turn the oven on at 180 degrees for 6 to 8 hours. If you have those fancy oven, you just put it in there, turns it on, and it turns off the next morning. Next morning you get up. Before you put it in the bottle, I'm going too fast. I'm coming back.
So you're dehydrated.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're killing the phytic acid that's in the oats. The phytic acid makes you anemic. To destroy the phytic acid in the oats, you either get sprouted oats and you're done. But if you have a whole bunch of oats in your closet, you want to dexterize it before you eat it. So dexterization is putting the oats in a pan, turn the oven at 180 degrees. Am I too fast now? Dexterization. A simple way to get sprouted oats. But just in case you're somewhere, you're a medical missionary, you're in Panama, Jamaica, they don't have sprouted oats, you need to know dexterization to tell them. Because God is balanced. You know, you put it in a pan and you dexterize it. Am I losing you?
Oh no, I'm just thinking you're talking about.
Are you talking about oat
Like-
groats or
No.
Yeah, oat.
flakes?
Yeah,
Thank you
or
very much.
Like steel cut oats. What type of oats are you talking about? You talking about the whole thing, or are you talking about?
You need to make some and bring it to me.
All right.
Yeah, I'm wondering which one are you doing?
All of them.
All of them.
All the oats have phytic acid in it. So whether it's rolled, steel cut, or oat grout, all has phytic acid in it. So if you cook the grout like a rice, if you use a steel cut, or you use a rolled oats, or you use quick oats, they're all the same.
But they have enough fiber to be sure.
Well, we're not talking about fiber. It has phytic acid in it. And it affects women first. Huh?
Cook it like you would, like you said, rice.
You don't want to cook it because there's 2 methods you could do. You can cook it. Oh, by the way, how long should the grains be cooked for? If you're going to cook a grain.
A grain
Grain, yes. Rice,
to
till it's soft. How long?
Like 8 minutes. That's good.
30 minutes.
10 minutes?
You mean fresh?
Very close.
I just soak mine in water.
You soak in water and then do what? Just eat it?
No, I eat it.
And eat it. The oat?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
even heat it up.
All right. So praise God you're here. So if you're going I like that. I like that. All right. So here's what you do. If you're going to cook it, if you're going to cook the oats, you need 2 to 3 hours to cook it.
Oh my Lord, I'll never eat oats again.
No, you have 2 other options.
Why do you have to cook it? I mean, that's not even
Phytic
anymore, that's
acid.
sludge.
That's what I'm saying.
That's sludge.
Not when I eat it.
But he said he's going to cook the oats. You're not going to get anything.
It's
So,
gonna look the same going in and coming out.
yeah. You don't want to cook it because it's going to be mushed out. What you want to do is dexterize it. Dexterization is 180 degrees. 180 degrees for 6 to 8 hours.
What does the acid do to you?
That kill the phytic acid that's in the oats.
Can you spell that acid?
Phytic, P-H-Y-T-I-C,
What is that?
phytic acid. P-H-Y-T-I-C, phytic acid. Phytic acid is in uncooked grain. Uncooked grain affects female. Whether if they're in childbearing age, it affects them more than men because man does not lose blood. That's why it doesn't affect them. It will affect them in a long period of time, but it affects the female first. So sometimes when dealing with a couple, if she's anemic, he's knocking at the door. It's just that she's a female and he's a male. So you want to dexterize it, and the easiest way is by support 70 Adventists by 1 degree oats. 1 degree, 70 Adventists. They're out of Canada, and they were just introduced to the United States about 3-4 years ago, and I'm promoting it everywhere I go. Huh? They're in every store. Just look for them, 1 degree. If you eat oatmeal, get 1 degree. I know there's Costco has it.
Buy it from that company that's already dexterized.
A company does it dexterize for you?
No, she wants to know, does that company already dexterize?
No, because sprouting is better than dexterization. Sprouting is the highest level you could have. That's why I said skip the dexterization, skip the soaking of the water, skip the cooking, and just sprout the oats. Eat the sprouted oats. And you can sprout the oats too. Well, we don't want to go into that. What do you say, Richard?
Oh, so we're just going to order some.
Just order. Yeah. 1 degree. All right, we're 17 minutes over, so let's move on. Yeah, we want to get to the diuretic food, unplugging the sink. Okay, one other thing with if you're hypertensive, you want to be taking vitamin D, 5,000 IU daily. Increase fresh fruits. 1 hour of you can take a picture of that or you can write it down. But that's where I want to be so we can finish. 1 hour of continual walking daily. 1 hour of continual walking is equal to 20 units of insulin. So when you're walking, you're reducing what? You don't need the insulin, so your sugar is going down, and what else? And your blood pressure is going down at the same time.
But the sugar going down is bodily control.
It's bodily control because that's 20 units. 1 hour of continual walking is 20 units of insulin. So if you're taking 20 units, you don't have to take it if you're walking.
I can't watch somebody else walk.
No. What he said?
I was like, I can't watch somebody else walk.
Just he's gonna watch someone
Yes,
else.
walk. No, you have to walk. You need the benefit. You need to turn on the happy hormones. You need to turn on the happy hormones. Yeah. But if he's happy, he doesn't need to turn them on.
It'll make you happy.
Remove from your diet things that is white. But there's some food that is white because it's just naturally white. Huh? What he said? Yes, go to bed before 9. And that's why you want to finish so you can go to bed before 9. We're not going to make it. One. Okay. One other thing, whether if you're diabetic or you have high blood pressure, you have to go to bed early. There's no question about that. I know people give me all kind of excuse that says, it's either your health or whatever you want to do. Your choice. You make the choice. You want to lose weight? Go to bed early. Want to lower your blood sugar? Go to bed early. Want to lower your blood pressure? Go to bed early. If you have cancer, you have to go to bed at 9 o'clock. There's no question about that. Okay, so I'm going to give you some of those teas you could take. Okay, so if you're going to do pumpkin seed, do sprouted pumpkin seed. Sprouted pumpkin seed, quarter cup of it in the morning and in the evening if you're hypertensive or diabetic. Sprouted pumpkin seed. Flax seed. So the flax seed is grinded out in, we call it cold press, cold grind, or hot grind. If you're going to use flax seed that you're not going to do it every day, I'm recommending cold ground flax seed powder. Cold ground, that means it will never get rancid and it will stay in the fridge as long as you want. Hawthorn berry and hawthorn leaves together. Hibiscus is the one we showed you at the front. Linden tea. Linden tea is here. It grows in the US. You may not get hibiscus is at the store. Hawthorn, and this is just choices you could make. Linden tea is here. When we're in Jamaica, we promote hibiscus and sorrel. We're here, we promote linden tea. Linden tea. And you have hawthorn berry and hawthorn leaves. If you're doing hawthorn berry, is 2 leaves to 1 berry, 2-to-1 ratio. Hawthorn leaves and berry is 2 cups of leaves or 2 parts to 1.
It's also hypertension, heart disease, medication.
Yes. Linden tea. Okay, you know how to make tea? You know how to make a tea? Okay, all right. Okay, you boil the water. For medicinal purposes, how would you make the linden tea? You put the water to warm up the sun. You need to be the leaves. Linden is leaves, so linden is the leaf. But how do you make the tea? Very good. Steep it. All right. I'm going to give you a better way, okay? Here's what I'm going to give you. You take the linden tea, you put it in a stainless steel pot overnight. Hold on, I'm going to give you let me get that method. I'm going to give the measurement to you, but what I want to tell you is how to make the tea. You put it in a stainless steel, glass, or titanium pot overnight. What it does is pull the phytonutrient out overnight. In the morning, you get up. If you're doing leaves, so you have leaves, stem, and root. They don't boil the same way. Which one would boil the most? Leaves, stem, and root. Which one would boil the most? The root is hard. Longer, the longest. I'm going to say it again. Sorry, I said it wrong. Which one of these will boil the longest? The leaves, the stem, or the root? The root. Now, if you're making a tea, you have to distinguish if you're doing leaves and stem or leaves and root. If you're extracting any one of them, you put the tea in the pot overnight to pull the phytonutrient out. So when you get up in the morning, it already have half the phytonutrient out. If you're doing leaves, it's 5 minutes to boil. If you're doing stems, it's 6 to 7 minutes. If you're doing root, it's 10 to 12 minutes. You don't have to memorize that because I want to give it to you again in a test. How long does you boil the root for? 10 to 12. The stem? 6 to 7 minutes. And the leaves? 5 minutes or less. All right. That's after the overnight.
Is the overnight just in regular water? Just cool water?
Yeah, just cool water.
So you kind of do this like you do beets. You let those tannins out.
The water pulls the phytonutrient out from the beets or whatever you're doing. If it's herbs, because this step is critical. There's 2 steps of extracting phytonutrient from plants. What's the first step? I just told you. Water or what? What's the other step? Yeah, to pull the phytonutrient from the plant. If you want to pull the phytonutrient from linden tea, hibiscus, what? Whole grain. Alcohol. You pull it in 2 forms, alcohol or water. But we don't use alcohol, but you still know. That's why you have tinctures. What tinctures does is pull the phytonutrient out faster, and in the same breath, it does what? Breaks it down faster. A vodka is a
Well, vodka is something that you soak in for medicine.
So we Adventists don't use alcohol because alcohol destroys the brain cells. But there's 2 methods of pulling the phytonutrient from the herbs. One is water and one is alcohol. Alcohol. We don't do alcohol. I can give you a story. I know it is bad for me. And I went to this institution and it says, this is the best format of extraction. And right, the extraction you're talking about, oh, by the way, how many percentage of the phytonutrient does alcohol pulls out? Yes. Percentage. So if you're doing linden tea and you put alcohol, how many percentage of the phytonutrient are you pulling out? No, 90%.
With alcohol?
With alcohol. And how much does water pull out?
With alcohol.
No, when you put water in linden tea, how many percent of the phytonutrient is it pulling out? Very close, about 60 to 70. But the method I'm telling you, it pulls out more by soaking it overnight. All right, we're going to wrap up. Any question before we wrap up?
Yes. I want to know, and you probably like to know this too. What do you eat to grow hair like hers?
Oh, you just don't use scissors. You just don't use scissors. It takes 10 years, but you just don't use scissors.
Don't use scissors. Okay, that's your trimming. Yeah, there's a specific stuff to do for here, but we don't want to do that here. Because there's stuff that you have to do. But you're on the step right here to start. Everyone is supposed to eat pumpkin seed, especially married man. If you're married, you want to eat pumpkin seed every day.
Why?
That's okay. I like that. So pumpkin seed have L-arginine in it. L-arginine dilates your blood vessel. That's why you take it when you have hypertension, so it dilates your blood vessel so the blood can flow through. If you're having blood flow properly, then you have better time in the bedroom.
So you're saying that that's like a blood thinner?
No, it dilates the blood vessel. So L-arginine is in pumpkin seed and is in watermelon.
Can you eat too much?
No. Well, I've never seen anybody eating too much. So
It's in watermelon too?
it's in watermelon. But the best method is sprouted pumpkin seed.
But I like watermelon.
Right. But you're not eating the seeds, so you should eat the seeds in the watermelon too. Watermelon and the seed. But it has L-arginine. L-arginine is critically important for blood pressure. And that's why we tell you to take it in the pumpkin seed, or you can take L-arginine itself, whichever one you want to do.
Isn't that counterproductive?
Sometimes you have to take both the supplement and
The
the.
supplement, L-arginine, isn't that already broken down from what it?
No, it's in a concentrated format.
Yeah, but it won't, the stomach's gonna break it down.
It depends on the powerful format it's in. It won't break it down like that. All right, we're done. We're done. You want to close for any question here?
Okay, that lecithin, I
It
heard that you should have lecithin because it's a soy product and the soy people spray all their beans.
all right. She said lecithin is in soy, but no. Lecithin. You can. You give me a bomb question, and I'm thinking how to answer it. So you can get sunflower lecithin and skip the soy. There's no sunflower lecithin. Sunflower seed lecithin is the best form of lecithin.
What's the difference between that sunflower and soy?
Both of them has it in, but just like what she's saying, people have problem with soy, but it's nothing because you're talking organic soybean or organic sunflower lecithin. It's the same. Sunflower lecithin is the body can simulate it better than soy, but it is basically the same. But sunflower is quicker to be absorbed than soy. Then we have molasses. So it says, if you're diabetic, do not take molasses like that.
It's gonna give you a sugar spike.
Barely, but you can still put it in, but there's another method to do it. You don't do 2 tablespoons, you just do less.
Molasses, blackstrap molasses, is that a form of iron?
Yes, iron. It has calcium, iron, magnesium, and zinc. Molasses is a superfood. Considered as a superfood. Molasses is the last stage when they're making sugar.
It's a leftover.
No, it's it's the stage before sugar.
Before sugar.
Before sugar is molasses, because molasses is made of sugar cane. So when you're cooking the sugar cane, the format is molasses and then sugar. You don't want sugar, you want molasses. Unsulfured molasses.